Hey yo, what's good homies? My name's Alkaid Ramirez. I'm a 25-year-old photographer from Anaheim, aka City of the Mouse. That foo. And this is the Tiny Film Room. Welcome to my new channel where I hope to fulfill my hopes and dreams of reading mean YouTube comments and extremely harsh criticisms of my work. Boy can dream. I want to make this intro video as simple as possible to explain my intentions for this channel, my fears, and my dark, dirty secrets. All of which are going to be answered in the form of Q&A. How convenient. So this channel is going to be primarily, obviously, about photography. It's called the Tiny Film Room. And it's going to cover, film photography, digital photography, some of it, and the basics. I guess the next question would be, what topics are we going to cover within those realms? Wow. This guy. So I want to cover obviously works of people, also my own, like my current projects, past projects that I've been working on or I have worked on, zines that I've collected and zines that I've created myself. Talk about storytelling within photos, because there's a lot of photos that I have taken and photos that I've seen that have come out recently from some of my colleagues that are just, they carry a lot of weight with them, and they're a little specific to the area, but with more context, the more you look at them, the more you see how they're impactful in our times at the moment. I also just want to, take you guys out on a day of me just shooting, hanging out, going through the process, kind of just being like, hey, that's a sick photo. Hey, can I get your photo? Hey, yo, let me get your photo. I want to talk about film stocks. You got your Portras, you got your Fujis, you got your Lomographies, but there's a lot of stuff in the middle right there that I haven't heard anyone talk about that shit. I kind of want to nitpick into those really creative experimental films that people talk about. One of them is a black and white film, my personal favorite film. I've talked to a couple of photographers about it, and they haven't really heard much about it. So if you have any third-party experimental films that you love, drop them in the comments, and you might see the review here. You might get a little credit, might do a little hanky-panky, whatever, dude. You thought. I also want to get to the development process. We're in quarantine. There's a ton of people who have just went and got themselves some C41 kits, some black and white kits to go ahead and start developing their own film. I know I did. I think in 1 week I did 20 rolls of film, but I have talked to people who are still a little apprehensive about it. Oh, I don't know what to do, this and that. Yo, homies, it's totally easy. You can do it. If I can do it, damn, you can do it. If it's hard for me to f it up, I'm sure you can do it. That isn't to say, I haven't f***ed me up. It is what it is, but pretty simple once you get, the rhythm down of it. It's not that hard. That's a really good question. Why? Well, I'll tell you why, man. I made this channel because I love photography. A couple years back when I picked up the art form, and the more that I learned about it, the more that I studied it, and the more that I talked about it with my colleagues, the more doors and opportunities and perspectives it opened up for me. And I think that's one of the more important things for me. The ways that the photographer can convey their message to you, and how every single photographer has their style of conveying their own message, and not every single one of them is ever the same. And that, to me, amazing. I love it. And I think that the road that I've been going down with photography has led me to this moment. In the course of a couple years, I've made my own zine, I've developed my own film, I've created a good amount of series, and I've had a couple of collaborations as well. I want to cover the art form. That is what has me here, hooked, and staying a film photographer for sure. I want my voice to be heard out here too. There's a lot of film photographers on YouTube, but here's a fucking Chicano one. What's up, homie? Other topics I want to voice my opinion on are, things that have to do besides film stocks and cameras and gear and all that stuff, is just equity and representation within the community. A lot more of a bigger subject that we'll cover down in the line. Stay tuned for that, It's gonna be dope. And disclaimer, I'm just gonna say it now. I'm not the say-all, be-all on these topics, and I'll never claim to be. There might be times where I have a shit take. I'm human, I will do my own research and I'll come to my conclusions. And, that's okay. Everyone has their opinions. It's 2020. I'm not going to argue with you on the internet. No one wins when you argue on the internet, unless you're Papa Gut. If you're Papa Gut, you're going to win all the time. Papa bless. because most of my work is done in this tiny little room. I mean, I'm very blessed to be living under a roof and having a bed to sleep on and all this equipment, but you know, it's a pretty small room. I do everything in here. I do everything from developing film, editing, recording, sleeping, and making babies, you know? Well, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary homies, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm not sure how I'm gonna be uploading or how often I'm gonna be uploading, but I'm just gonna try and wing it and see how far I get. So I appreciate it, my G's.